So it is BookTrek 2022, and it is the only event that I'm participating in for the month of August. I'm a huge Star Trek The Next Generation fan, and a huge fan of Star Trek just in general. And I'm really, really pumped up about my Star Trek novels this year. I was on eBay browsing for books, Star Trek books, and I found a lot of the original series Star Trek books for $5, and there's 12 of them in here. 12 books for $5 plus the shipping, of course, which was $4 and some change. So I thought that was a really good deal, and since I'm super excited and it's BookTrek, I thought I would open this up on camera and we'll see what's in here. Oh boy. Okay, oh, these are packed really nicely. Okay. Ooh, nice. So the first one is Crisis on Centaurus by Brad Ferguson. There's the cover. Wow, this book is in really good shape. It said that the books were going to be in good condition. So, and the seller did have 100% ratings on there. So yeah, Crisis on Centaurus. Those of you who have already read a lot of these novels probably already know what this is about, but I don't. Massive computer malfunctions are plaguing the Enterprise when Kirk suddenly receives a shocking message from Starfleet Command. Centaurus has been bombed and annihilated. Thousands are dead. Give whatever help you can. Centaurus is a beautiful, peaceful planet home to many humans, including McCoy's daughter, Joanna. McCoy has a daughter? Is that a book thing only, or was that actually in the series? Because I do not remember him ever having a daughter. The crew risks beaming down to investigate, but Kirk is thrown into a deadly struggle between violent enemy terrorists and vengeful Centaurians. Now Lieutenant Uhura, left alone in command, must jeopardize the crippled Enterprise to save Centaurus, Kirk, and Joanna McCoy. Well, that sounds exciting. Okay, so that'll be a good one. Or I hope it'll be a good one. You never know with these Star Trek books, evidently. Wow, this one is in really good shape, too. Okay, so this one is called Home is the Hunter by Dana Kramer Rolls. So there's the cover. It looks like we've got Scotty, Chekhov, and Kirk on there, although Kirk is in the wrong uniform. That looks like the uniform from the first Star Trek movie. I forgot what it's called. Maybe just the Star Trek movie? I don't remember. So yeah, so anyway, so maybe this takes place during that time. Yeah, look how good a shape this book is in. I'm really impressed. It's fabulous. Okay, again, those of you who have read a lot of Star Trek novels may already be familiar with this, but we're going to read for those of us who aren't so familiar. A dispute over a planet and its primitive people leads Captain Kirk and a Klingon commander to pit their ships against each other in battle. But the fight is stopped by a mysterious and powerful alien being named Weyland, who decides to punish 3 Enterprise crew members with their own history. He places Sulu in feudal Japan during the period's most important and bloody power struggle, Scotty in 18th century Scotland on the eve of revolt, and Chekhov in World War II Russia. Now the 3 time travelers must face overwhelming dangers as they are pulled by conflicting forces, their allegiance to their homelands, their duty to the Federation they serve, and the demands of history. All right. Doesn't sound as exciting as the first one, but we will take it. Okay. The next one is, man, these books are in really good condition. The next one is The Rules of Engagement by Peter Morwood. It's a Klingon on the front, so it's obviously confrontation with the Klingons. Okay. Wow. Okay, a sudden revolution on the planet Decanar brings Captain Kirk and the Enterprise running to evacuate Federation personnel trapped there. But their orders from Starfleet are quite clear. The Enterprise is to assist in the evacuation and no more. No weapons are to be displayed, no shields raised, no shots fired. This is familiar. I've read the synopsis for this before. Meanwhile, halfway across the galaxy, an experimental Klingon warship sets forth on a mission of its own, a warship with hidden and heretofore undreamed of capabilities, commanded by a warrior who will stop at nothing to bring glory to his empire and restore his own lost honor. The Klingon ship's destination, the planet Decanar. Now that sounds exciting as well. The next one is Doctor's Orders by Diane Duane. The tagline says that Dr. McCoy is in command in this one, so that ought to be very interesting. Was McCoy ever in charge of the Enterprise during the show? When Dr. McCoy grumbles once too often about the way the Enterprise ought to be run, Captain Kirk decides to leave the Doctor in command while he oversees a routine diplomatic mission. Kirk beams down to a strange planet nicknamed Flyspeck to negotiate its admission into the Federation, leaving Dr. McCoy to enjoy his new authority. However, the Doctor soon learns that that command is a double-edged sword when Kirk disappears without a trace. Desperately trying to locate his captain, McCoy comes under pressure from Starfleet to resolve the situation immediately. Matters go from bad to worse when the Klingons arrive and stake their own claim on Flyspeck. Then another, more deadly power threatens them all, and suddenly Dr. McCoy and the Enterprise find themselves pitted against an alien fleet in a battle they have no hope of winning. I don't picture Dr. McCoy winning too many battles, but that does sound really fun. So I'm going to move that up. I'm going to put this towards the top of my list of TOS novels to read for sure. The next one is Dreams of the Raven by Carmen Carter. What's the tagline say? A mysterious alien attack cripples both the Enterprise and Dr. McCoy. Okay, a merchant ship's frantic SOS sends the Enterprise speeding to the rescue, but the starship's mission of mercy soon becomes a desperate struggle for survival against a nightmarish enemy Captain Kirk can neither identify nor understand, an enemy he must defeat without the aid of one of his most trusted officers. For the Leonard McCoy Kirk knew is gone. In his place stands a stranger, a man with no memory of his Starfleet career, his family, his friends, or the one thing that James T. Kirk needs most of all, his dreams. That sounds interesting. Not as interesting as the one where Kirk is in command, though. Okay, the next one is The Final Nexus by Jean Deweese. I'm recognizing few of these authors here. Okay, there's the cover of that one. I don't know who this lady is in the background. Is that his mother? Is that Amanda? Okay, Uncounted centuries ago, an unknown race from beyond our galaxy created a series of interstellar gates, shortcuts across our universe, and then disappeared, leaving behind no clues to their fate or the operation of their system. Twice before, the Enterprise has used the system to traverse the galaxy and returned, each time no wiser to the gate's operation. Now it is imperative that they find out, for the gates are breaking down, taking the very stars in the sky with them. The fate of the galaxy rests in the hands of the Enterprise crew and their ability to communicate not only with creatures from another world, but from another universe as well. I don't know how to feel about that. This is the first time hearing about some kind of gateways. Well, this will be interesting to read. The next one is The Kobayashi Maru by Julia Eklar. Oh, interesting cover. I don't know if that's just bad art of Captain Kirk there, or if that's not Captain Kirk. Oh, the spine and the back. Okay. A freak shuttlecraft accident, and suddenly Captain Kirk and most of his senior officers find themselves adrift in space with no hope of rescue, no hope of repairing their craft, or restoring communications, with nothing, in short, but time on their hands. Time enough for each to tell the story of the Kobayashi Maru, the Starfleet Academy test given to command cadets. Nominally a tactical exercise, the Kobayashi Maru is in fact a test of character revealed in the choices each man makes and does not make. Discover how Starfleet cadets Kirk, Chekhov, Scotty, and Sulu each faced the Kobayashi Maru and became, in turn, Starfleet officers. Who are we missing on that list? We don't have Spock. In the Kelvin movies, Spock actually designed the Kobayashi Maru, but I don't know if that's true in the original Star Trek lore or if they just made that up for the Kelvin timeline. Maybe one of you TOS veterans could tell me. Well, that does sound interesting. I think I will like to read that one. Want to read it sooner rather than later. Whoops. The next one is The Pandora Principle by Carolyn Klaus? Yeah, Carolyn Klaus. Oh, this looks like it's from the movie, or the time period of one of the movies. I recognize that Vulcan in the image. I've forgotten her name, though. But yeah, there's this one. These books are all in such good shape. I really made out like a bandit on these books. Okay, a Romulan bird of prey mysteriously drifts over the neutral zone and into Federation territory. Captain Kirk and the crew of the Enterprise investigate, only to find the ship dead in space. When Starfleet orders the derelict ship brought to Earth for examination, the Enterprise returns home with perhaps her greatest prize. But the bird of prey carries a dangerous cargo, a deadly force that is soon unleashed in the heart of the Federation. Suddenly, the only hope for the Federation's survival lies buried in the tortured memory of Commander Spock's protege, a cadet named Saavik. Right, Saavik. She was in, what's the one where Spock comes back to life? I forgot. Oh, The Search for Spock, right? Okay. Together, Spock and Saavik must return to the nightmare world of Saavik's birth, a planet called Helgard, to discover the secret behind the Romulans' most deadly threat of all. Okay, that one also sounds exciting. Man, I am so pleased with these books. This is fabulous. Ooh, there's a sticker on this one. I'll have to get that off later. So this one is called Bloodthirsty by J.M. Dillard. There's the cover. I'll get that sticker off there later. Okay, and then there's the spine and the back. Okay, a Class 1 medical emergency summons the Enterprise to the Federation outpost Tanis. There, a grisly surprise awaits them. 2 of the lab's 3 researchers are dead, their bodies almost entirely drained of blood. There are no clues, no records of their research, no remnants of their work. There is only the outpost's sole survivor, Dr. Jeffrey Adams, a man with a secret that will rock the very foundations of Starfleet, and a terrible, all-consuming hunger that will bring death to the crew of the Starship Enterprise. Is this a vampire novel? If this is a vampire novel, I'm going to throw up. This better not be a vampire novel. Oops. Okay, there are 3 books left, so we'll save that one for last. Okay, that one. Okay, so this one is called Recovery, the final book in the best-selling Lost Years saga, so number 73. Interesting. Okay, here's the cover of that. The spine and the back, again in very good condition. It began with the Lost Years, the story of what happened to Captain Kirk and the legendary crew of the USS Enterprise when their original 5-year mission ended. The saga continued in A Flag Full of Stars and Traitor Wins. Now in Recovery, J.M. Dillard brings to an end one of the most exciting chapters in Star Trek history. Wow, so this is part of a trilogy? Well, I'm going to have to get the other 2 books before I read this one. Admiral James T. Kirk, former captain of the USS Enterprise and now chief of Starfleet operations, is at a crossroads in his career. When he is assigned to supervise the testing of the USS Recovery, an experimental new rescue vessel, he begins to realize how tired he is of being trapped behind a desk, away from the action. Fully automated, the Recovery is a high-speed transport vessel capable of evacuating large populations without risking the lives of Starfleet personnel. But when the creator falls under an alien influence, the Recovery becomes a pawn in a deadly game that could lead to interstellar war. Trapped in the bowels of the ship is Admiral Kirk's old friend Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy, who is being hunted by a homicidal madman determined that no one on the ship will survive. Taking command of a starship, Admiral Kirk must find a way to save Dr. McCoy's life and save the galaxy from deadly chaos. Okay, well that sounds okay, but it's not thrilling me. That synopsis is not thrilling me, but we will read it anyway. So the next one is The Best of Trek from the magazine for Star Trek fans. So this must be fan fiction. Interesting. So there's the cover, there's the spine, and there's the back. So, okay. Let me just read the back of this. Explore space, time, and alien empires. Welcome to this journey into the worlds of Star Trek, the infinite realm of imagination. Here you will discover a universe of facts and fantasy about everyone's favorite show, from interviews with such well-known personalities as Gene Roddenberry and Leonard Nimoy to the early history of the Klingon race. Cool! Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let's see, where was I? To the early history of the Klingon race. Okay, from convention close-ups to a revealing look at how those great special effects were created, from evaluations of the comic books to an index on the animated shows, From Trek trivia to time paradoxes, it's all here in the most amazing galaxy-spanning collection ever. Wow, that sounds exciting. I have not watched the animated series yet because, as I understand, like that takes place after the series ends, so it's like a continuation of the TOS adventures. So yeah, I'll finish with the original Star Trek show, and then I'll read those animated adventures. So, wow, this sounds really good though, right? I'm debating whether I should read this before I actually finish Star Trek though. I mean, I don't want to like spoil myself on anything that I might not already know. And then the final book. So I saw Steve Donahue talking about these books. This one is Star Trek The New Voyages #2. Oh, you know what? This is not the same thing. This is different. I thought this was one of those books that Steve Donahue talked about, written by James Blish, as being essentially just a novelization of scripts. But that's not what this is at all. It says, based on the television series created by Jane Roddenberry, for Star Trek fans and friends everywhere, dazzling new adventures never seen on the screen and never published in a book. So that sounds fun. Okay, glorious Spock, gallant Kirk, and valiant Uhura. In a future visible to earthbound eyes, the men and the women of the Starship Enterprise embark again on 8 dazzling, never-before-published adventures. Theirs is the beauty of the courage, the quest... Oh, theirs is the beauty and the courage, the quest to uncharted realms where other adventurers only... Okay, where others venture only in their boldest dreams. A must book for all fans. Well, if this is #2, how many of these are there? Am I going to have to start getting the rest of these books? I don't want to read book 2 before I have book 1. Okay, so that is it for this Star Trek box for only $5 plus $4 and some change shipping. That was really, really good. I made out like a bandit on this one. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and end the video here, and I will come back with my and talk about Vulcan's Glory in the next video.